Please make sure to like this video and subscribe. In the wake of two recent pieces in the Washington Post relating to Archbishop Carlo Maria Vigano, an article and an extended interview, the first the Archbishop has granted since the initial allegations concerning Pope Francis, renewed insinuations and smears have been directed at the former diplomat of the Holy See. In his June the 10th interview, the Archbishop claims that the actions so far taken against McCarrick are chiefly inspired by a desire to prevent a trial of the former cardinal, which might expose the complicity of other churchmen in his actions and the ensuing cover-up. This, Archbishop Vigano alleges, is why the Pope's actions against McCarrick, removal from the Sacred College and laicization, are all administrative and therefore without appeal. In other words, if a judicial process concluded that McCarrick was guilty of the accusations made against him, any appeal by McCarrick, who continues to protest his innocence, would inevitably expose the guilt of other senior prelates. By moving straight to this penalty without the trial, Pope Francis is able to avoid this potentially devastating development, and the Vatican response to these scandals is directed towards protecting these networks at all costs. Although the former U.S. nuncio is often described by his critics as an enemy of Pope Francis, he says in the interview that he is, quote, not fighting against Pope Francis, nor have I offended him, but simply spoken the truth. He said, I am grateful to the Lord because he has protected me from having any sentiments of anger or resentment against Pope Francis or desire for revenge, he writes. Critics of Archbishop Vigano are now asking why he did not make his concerns public much earlier. Summarizing the nature of the obstacles he faced, he told LifeSite, I couldn't surmount the barrier of Cardinal Bertone. Cardinal Parolin didn't reply, pretending nothing has happened, and no one has dared to ask him firmly if he received the letter or not. And then, having told Pope Francis in 2013, what more could I have done? I trusted that Pope Francis would do things as any pope would have done. I always trusted him. And then, once I saw that he himself was covering them up, I couldn't remain quiet. The frustration of all the avenues he attempted placed the Archbishop in a morally impossible situation. A series of events over time first impeded me, and later obliged me to speak out. I no longer have the confidence that the Church would renew herself from within. I spoke out when I realized that inside the Church they were all covering up the abuse. Before, I always thought they would remedy it. For more on this story, please follow the link in the description to LifeSite News.